we didn't mention Boomer Brown in the game because he did not play, and he's made such an impact on this defense. Some other guys stepped up on this.
Exactly. We're talking about Brian Alexander. He's one of them that's getting a whole lot more reps now, and we did miss Matthias. Hopefully he'll be back, and next week we go to Mars Hill. But we had some other players that had to make plays, and they did. They stepped up and found a way to get it done when we had to. We've got two starters right now that are on the sidelines, and Matthias and Freddie, and we got guys stepping up making plays. That's what true good football teams are about. You're not always going to have your starters out there. You got to have guys come in and step up when their number's called, regardless what their age, what class they're in, and that's what some of our kids are doing right now. For the fourth time in school history, the Tusculum Pioneers have began the season at 4-0. And for the first time since 2002, they've started the year at 4-0. We come back with much more of the Frankie DeBusk Show. We'll have a conversation with Calvin Britt. We'll meet our players of the week and wrap up the show. That's when we continue right after this.
The best deal in the neighborhood just got better with more to love on the 2 for $20 meal only at Applebee's. Applebee's is a proud sponsor of the Frankie DeBusk TV show and side of the Frankie DeBusk radio show. Applebee's on the bypass in Greenville. There's no place like the neighborhood.
Coach, what makes a winning team?
A winning team is individuals that are working toward one common goal.
Coach, for over 30 years, Andrew Johnson Bank has been a winning team here in Greene County. It has always been our goal to provide superior service to our customers.
Andrew Johnson Bank will never quit providing extra effort to make loyal customers in the community.
Thank you, Coach DeBusk.
Thank you, Monica. Andrew Johnson Bank scores points with friendly customer service, top-notch bank products, and convenient locations. Tusculum College and Andrew Johnson Bank are a winning team.
Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home-owned and operated with locations in Greenville, Morristown, Jonesboro, Johnson City, and Cleveland. Laughlin Memorial Hospital provides innovative, caring, compassionate service to their patients and the community through integrity and honesty in all that they do. Laughlin Memorial Hospital in Greenville since 1939. Whatever you do, do it well. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
The Tusculum Pioneers defeat Urbana 39-36 with the victory. They also jump 9 spots, I should say, into the coaches' polls. They move to number 15 as they'll have the bye week this coming week. The Pioneers defeat Urbana 39-36. Big reason why? A new school record is established. We had a chance after the game to catch up with Calvin Britt.
All right, joined by Calvin Britt, 10 catches, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the most critical was the last touchdown, Calvin. Talk about that last drive, what you guys had to do to come out with this victory today against Urbana.
I mean, the last drive was something that we practice every day in practice, so we weren't too nervous. We knew what we had to do, and we went down the field and were able to take the lead on that last drive.
You know, it was a game of adversity, I think. You guys, Bo was hit a lot when he let the ball go. They picked off some passes. How much of, as a football team, as a senior leader on this team, how much of a football team do you think you grew today as you went to 4-0?
I mean, I think we grew a lot. I mean, not every game is going to be a blowout, or we're not going to always have the lead. We got to find a way to win, and that's what we did today.
Urbana, a good quality side, I think. You know, this is a team that's improved every year. They got physical, they've gotten athletic, and they gave you a game here toward the end. How physical were they in the secondary?
I'll say they were a physical secondary, and some of the things we were making mistakes on our execution, but when we did, they took advantage of it, so they did a good job on that.
I think we chatted on this field media day back in August. It was about this hot, I think, but I said, what's it going to be like leaving your name in the record books as you leave? You're the all-time passing and receiving touchdown leader now in school history. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, like I don't really look too much into stats. I think it's nice to, be in a record book, but, what's most important to me is winning. Like, I'm so happy that we won today. I mean, but even if I didn't get the record, I'm just happy that we won.
Calvin, congratulations. Best of luck to you.
All right, thank you.
That's Calvin Britt.
Calvin Britt, 10 catches, 119 yards on the day with 2 touchdowns. Now a school best 21 career receiving touchdowns for his career. It's time now to take a look at our Players of the Week, and we'll begin on offense. Our Offensive Player of the Week presented by Grand Rental Station. Brian Marshall, sophomore out of Chattanooga, out of Ottawa High School, had 4 carries for 11 yards, 9 receptions, career best 92 yards receiving, including a big 2-point conversion in the football game. Calvin Britt, the senior from Augusta, Georgia, from Laney High School, had 10 receptions, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. His 2 touchdowns established a new school record for career receiving touchdowns with 21 for his career. Our Green Coach Tour's Defensive Player of the Game, Mason Fowler, the senior out of Dacula, Georgia, from Dacula High School. A career best 11 tackles, 3 for loss, a sack, and a forced fumble in the football game. Our Creekside Market Special Team Player of the Game, Gareth Rowlands, the senior out of Benlick, Wales, out of the Kings Academy here in East Tennessee, was perfect 4 for 4 on point afters and had a field goal in the game of 47, establishing a new season long of 47 on the day. Our Andrew Johnson Bank called the game-winning touchdown for Calvin Britt.
Cordell to pass, sings it, caught it, touchdown Calvin Britt! Touchdown Pioneers, taking the lead with 24 seconds to play.
We go deeper inside the numbers as we take a look at your final post-game wrap-up. Tusculum Pioneers 18 carries, 9 yards, 51 carries, 233 yards for Urbana. Pioneers Cordell went 37 of 55 on the afternoon, did have 3 interceptions, but a new career best and 5 touchdowns, tying a school record for touchdowns passed in a game with 417 yards. The quarterbacks combined for Urbana went 12 of 28, 2 picks, 154 yards on the day. The Pioneers had just 73 plays, 426 yards, and Urbana 79 plays, 387 yards. The Pioneers do get a new school record as well, 16 penalties for 169 yards. It's the penalties, not the yards, that were the career record. Urbana was whistled 10 times for 77 yards. Third downs, Tusculum not as good as they were a week ago against Western, were just 4 of 12 on third downs, while Urbana was 5 of 17. The Pioneers worked very good in the red zone, 5 for 5, and defensively keeping Urbana from scoring in the red zone. Urbana was just 5 for 9 in the red zone. We'll wrap the show up when we come back right after this. Pioneers defeat Urbana 39-36 this past Saturday.
Greenville Federal Bank, proudly celebrating 50 years of service in Greenville and Greene County. Greenville Federal Bank is banking made easy. Visit online at greenvillefederalbank.com. The best deal in the neighborhood just got better with more to love on the 2 for $20 meal only at Applebee's. Applebee's is a proud sponsor of the Frankie DeBusk TV show and side of the Frankie DeBusk radio show. Applebee's on the bypass in Greenville. There's no place like the neighborhood. Laughlin Memorial Hospital provides innovative, caring, compassionate service to their patients and the community through integrity and honesty in all that they do. Laughlin Memorial Hospital in Greenville since 1939. Whatever you do, do it well. Creekside Market has 3 locations in southern Greene County to serve. So while you're traveling to or from any game, stop by and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Creekside Market just off the 107, locations on the Asheville Highway, Camp Creek, and the Irwin Highway. Creekside Markets in Greene County.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
The Tusculum Pioneers knock off Urbana 39-36 and come from behind fashion. For Coach DeBusk, it's his 75th career win. It's your 33rd come from behind victory. And this one, in the truest sense of the form, was a come from behind victory.
Well, the cards were not playing our way. We had them sort of stacked against us, and you're exactly right. It was a true come from behind win. To be up 31-21 at halftime and then have to score the very last drive goes to show you didn't play very well at all in the third quarter. Hats off to Urbana. They had a good plan, came in here expecting to win the game, and our team stepped up when we had to, found a way to score there right at the very end of the ball game in a dramatic fashion. And just trying to keep the fans around, I guess, is one way of saying it. But it's good to be sitting here at 4-0, Brian. Still not real sure how good a football team we are. I know we got some potential. I know we got some athletes. I know we got some special things happening. We just got to keep executing, keep working, and get ready to start conference play.
And that is beginning in 2 weeks, October 2nd, when the Pioneers travel across the mountain to their cross-mountain rival Mars Hill. A little flip-flop in the conference schedule. Normally they're toward the end of the year. Now, it's going to be an interesting game because usually by then either they're out of it or Tusculum's out of it. Either way, But now it's the first game of the conference. Could be very interesting with Rick at quarterback. He's got some good passing numbers, and really we're scratching our heads with Jonas Randolph right now. Last year, a kid that led the nation in rushing is only averaging about 50 yards a game.
Well, one thing they lost is some really good offensive linemen. I do know that, and that's probably one of the reasons Randolph's not putting up the numbers. But, you know, I've always said Tim Clifton, the head coach at Mars Hill, does one of the best coaching jobs in the conference. He always seems to have good players, and we've never played them this early in my 13 years being here. Generally, when we get to this game, we're either playing for something or they're playing for something, or neither one of us are playing for anything. So it's always a different mentality. Now we're going into the first conference game, first week, and I will tell you this, Mars Hill seems to always beat somebody pretty bad early in conference play. I think they beat Catawba 25-0 a couple years ago. They knocked off Newberry a couple years ago early on. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I do know that it's always a very physical, very, very challenging football game going to their place. It's their first conference game as well. They're open a week before the game as well as we are. A lot of similarities. They are 2-2. They've won some big ball games, and we got to go execute. We got to go play 4 quarters of football and try to find a way to score one more than they do.
Congratulations against Urbana.
Thank you.
Enjoy the week off.
Thank you.
Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk. The Pioneers are 4-0. We'll take on Mars Hill, who is 2-2 in 2 weeks. October 2nd will be the game for the Tusculum Pioneers. They'll kick it off at 2:30. Of course, you can join us on the Pioneer Sports Network, which is AM 1450 WSMG, and worldwide through TusculumPioneers.com, broadcast through RedZoneMedia.com as well. Our coverage will begin at 1:30. Again, kickoff will be at 2:30. Last time that Mars Hill defeated Tusculum, 2002, was dubbed the Mud Bowl. No chance for that to happen. Well, it could rain all at once too, but new field turf has been put in at Mars Hill, so that's at least a blessing. I'd like to thank once again Stacy McGill for the great still photographs and her pictures throughout the show, and also to Nathan Humbert. For Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk, I'm Brian Stayton. See you in a couple of weeks. Pioneers versus Mars Hill, October 2nd from Mars Hill, North Carolina. Till then, good night.
This has been the Frankie DeBusk Show with head coach Frankie DeBusk. The Frankie DeBusk Show. Featuring coaches' interviews, player spotlights, highlights, and statistical breakdowns.
Brought to you in part by Greenville Federal Bank, celebrating 50 years of service in Greenville and Greene County. Applebee's, your neighborhood bar and grill. There's no place like the neighborhood. Laughlin Memorial Hospital, whatever you do it well. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home-owned and operated with locations in Greenville, Morristown, Jonesboro, Johnson City, and Cleveland. Green Coach Tours, celebrating their 65th anniversary. Grand Rental Station, anything you'll ever need to rent or buy. Consumer Credit Union, with 3 convenient locations in Greenville and Moss High. CREEKSIDE Markets, don't pass by, stop by, with 3 locations in Greene County. Comcast Cable, call Comcast and ask about the Comcast Triple Play, TV, internet, and phone. Comcast.
The Frankie DeBusk Show is a special presentation of the Pioneer Sports Network.